Good morning, the students of class 6. Today I am back with your social science history class. So today's chapter is what, where, how and when, and it is the first chapter of your history book. So let's start the first chapter revision. And the first question in this book, that what can we know about the past? That number one, what people used to eat, the type of clothes they used to wear, the houses in which they lived, all these things. And number two, how were the lives of hunters, herders, farmers, rulers, merchants, priests, craftspersons, artists, musicians and scientists. So the life of all these people, the profession, all the people of different professions, how did they live their life? All these things we can know from history. Now number three, the games children used to play, the stories they have heard, the songs they sang, those things also we know from history. So in this way, history is very interesting to know about the past. Okay. Next slide. Another question was there, that where did people live? So it is the second question from the name of the chapter. Already know that what, where, how and when. So what can we know about the past? We already listen. Now we know that where did people live? That people lived long ago, number one, on the banks of Narmada river, and people have lived here for several thousand years. Through some archaeological evidences, archaeologists proved that people started living in the subcontinent on the bank of river Narmada. Number two, they knew about the vast wealth of plants in the surrounding forests and collected roots, fruits and other forest produce for their life and food. Number three, they also hunted animals. So these are the places. Another place, that is Suleiman and Kirthar hills in the northwest. These are the areas where people first grew crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago. They also began rearing animal, sheep, goat and cattle, and lived in villages. Okay. Place number three, it is Garo Hills in the northeast India. It is situated in today's Meghalaya, and the Vindhyas in central India, situated in Madhya Pradesh, today's Madhya Pradesh. The places where agriculture also developed, and rice grown here first. The evidence of rice found here first in the subcontinent. So through these evidences, archaeologists thought that rice grown first in the areas of Garo Hills and the Vindhyas in central India. That's it from this slide. Now what happened? Look at the next slide. That about 4,700 years ago, earlier cities flourished on the banks of the river Indus and its tributaries. Tributaries are smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. On the bank of Ganga and its tributaries, 2,500 years ago, some later cities were also developed here. The first cities are developed on the bank of Indus and its tributaries about 4,700 years ago, and after a long time in the bank of Ganga and its tributaries. Cities also developed here. The area between Ganga and its tributary Son in ancient time was called Magadha, and along the sea coasts, which is now lying in the state of Bihar, up to the sea coast, from this area up to the sea coast, the vast landmass is known as Magadha, and it was ruled by some kings. It is situated in present-day Bihar, and its rulers were very powerful and set up a large kingdom. Kingdoms were set up in other parts of the country as well. Now in the next slide, how did people moved from one place to another place? So look at the slide that throughout people traveled from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and high mountains, including the Himalayas, deserts, rivers, and seas, made journeys dangerous at times, but never impossible. At the time when technology was not so advanced, though they traveled despite of different problems and dangers. So look at the map on the right side of the slide. This map depicted the ancient Silk Route, which was the busy trade route through which people traveled one place to another place with different commodities, goods, and precious items. So what are the different reasons people moved from one place to another place? Look at one by one. That sometimes men marched in armies conquering other land. Number 2, merchant traveled with caravans and ships for travel trade. Like in the map, the path shown with the red color, it is the Silk Route through which a merchant traveled with caravans and ships for trade along with the coast and inland territories. Some people perhaps traveled driven by a spirit of adventure, waiting to discover new and exciting places. So these movements of people enriched our cultural traditions. People have shared new ways of carving stone, composing music, and even cooking food for over several hundreds of years. So in this way, one culture mixed with another culture. So that's all from today's class and the first half of the revision. What can we know about the past and where did people live? Next day we'll discuss the another part that. So thank you for watching. For future updates, stay connected with our YouTube channel and website, and do not forget to like the video and subscribe our channel. You can also follow us on our Facebook page with the same name, Burdwan Model School, and our website is www.burdwanmodelschool.org.in.